What's up, YouTube? It's your boy Alex, and I'm gonna make a YouTube video tonight. Let's keep our fingers crossed and hope my dad don't roll up on me while I'm filming. I got a job interview tomorrow to become a janitor. Well, it's 60-40. 60% I become a janitor, 40% I don't become a janitor. I do not like washing dishes because it's like this. The people in my job are great. They're fantastic. The girls are nice. I mean, most of the women are nice. There's this one girl that don't like me, looking at her because she be looking nice and cute. But the point is, I don't like washing dishes. I hate washing dishes, and I only did that job because I needed to pay my cell phone bill, which you see I'm filming on, and that's not the job that I wanted. But when my other job went out of business and then they bought that job back under Nordstrom's, it just created a bunch of problems. That's not what this YouTube video is about. I'm making a video tonight because tomorrow I'm going to have to reload my tab card and then take the number 6 Culver City bus and go to the job interview. And when I'm done with the job interview, there's not even a guarantee that if I'm going to go to the Grove and do a movie review. So tomorrow I am going to see It Chapter 2. The movie already came out, but I can't wait to see the movie. So this YouTube video is going to be sex and dating. She thinks she is a 9, but she's a 4. So she's a 4, but she thinks she's a 9. This YouTube video is about women who think they're more than what they are. Now, we all had that time when we were in high school, we were in college, and you had this one girl that thinks she's popular, but she's not popular. She thinks she's the it girl, but she's not the it girl. She always tried to challenge and compete against the popular girls, but she wasn't popular, but she thought she was popular in high school and college. You men know what I'm talking about, right? You men from the ages of 18 to 29, and some of you men from the ages of 30 to 35, 90% of the time, y'all know what I'm talking about when I say there's that one girl you went to high school and college, but she wasn't that physically sexually attractive. She was just average or below average, but she thought she was Britney Spears, Christina Aguilera if it's a white girl. If it's a black girl, she thinks she Lorian London. You know how a lot of men be making YouTube videos ever since Nipsey Hussle passed, unfortunately, and a lot of brothers be talking about if they had the chance to date Lorian London. Well, you got some black girls that have what I like to call the Lorian London complex. They think they're Lorian London. If it's a white girl, she'll think she's Scarlett Johansson or Jennifer Lawrence. And if it's a Mexican chick, she thinks she's Jennifer Lopez. So we would call that the Jennifer Lopez complex. Now, a lot of these women who be thinking they're a 9 are girls that I like to call delusional. They watch too much television, too many Hollywood movies, too much social media. And these women think that because someone told them they're nice and they're sexy, that they're a 9. They think they're a dime piece. I know you heard that. And they go to a rap concert and they see Lil Wayne and Drake, and because Lil Wayne and Drake said they're beautiful or they're the sexiest, all of a sudden they think they're a 9. Like today, there was this co-worker of mine that called herself a queen. And I kind of went like, all you girls think you're queens. Now, I'm not saying she not no queen. What I'm trying to say is she inspired me to make this YouTube video. And I want to say to a lot of you young men who get caught up on one-itis. So if women are laughing or men are laughing and making fun of the women, please do not be making fun of women because of the title of this video, because very shortly after, a day or 2 days after I'm done working on Saturday, it's going to be time for me to turn around and make a video called Sex and Dating Self-Improvement. He's a 5, but he thinks he's a 10. So if I make a video about how women think they're more than what they are, I gotta make one for men. Because I made a YouTube video last year and then I had to do a revised version. Perhaps you've seen the video. It was called Sex Game, What Number Are You? And I decided to do a follow-up to those videos. And this time explain what happens when you get a person that is a 4, but they think they're a 9. And you know a lot of these women that you went to high school and college. Now, most pickup artists and dating coaches, like Matt Cross said, give it a nickname. They call it a 49er. 49er is a woman that's a 4, but she thinks she's a 9. That's why I'm taking celebrities and trying to explain it the best way as possible. That's why you saw that video called Sex with Hollywood Actresses I Like. That's what that video was for. It was to get you to use your brain and think on why I use the names of those actresses. Now you know why, because it's for this video. So the video before this one was to get you thinking on why I said Megan Good, why I said Zendaya, why I said Scarlett Johansson, why I said Michelle Rodriguez, why I named those actresses. A lot of the times when you try to holler at a girl, right? Doesn't matter if it's college, work, or the gym, about 90% of the time, there'll be this one girl that's average or below average that you, I don't want to say you necessarily find physically, sexually attractive, but you be trying to talk to her and she be all stuck up with a stuck up attitude and think she better than everybody. And you be looking at her like, you got a nice cute face, but you ain't all that in a bag of chips. You know, who you think you are to be acting like that? Everybody knows a girl like that in high school and college. And unfortunately, everybody knows a man like that was in high school and college. Like I said, I'm going to make one about men who think they're like that too. As there's a lot of arguments on the internet on YouTube, and I was going to get around to making those videos. I'm making this one, and then tomorrow, if time persists, which it should, it may not, because I have to reload my tab card, and then by 1 o'clock I have to show up for the job interview, and that's to see if I'm going to be a janitor, and then if I can get back across town, that would be to go see a movie. And if I go to the Culver City movie theater, they don't allow backpacks. That's the problem with the Culver City movie theater. They don't allow no backpack anymore. You know, if I go to the Grove, you can bring your backpack, but you got to show, let security see your bag. So that's gonna be. So if I can get the job interview, it'd be good to get back on the same bus and just go to the Grove, which I'm probably not gonna see It Chapter 2 until like maybe the 6:30 or 7 o'clock showing. So, yeah, it might be a while before I even get a chance to get into the area to go see the movie. There's going to be a whole lot of stuff I have to deal with. We all know those type of girls. And you see, I noticed that most females who think they're the it girl, usually these females are conceited. You know, they have an ego. You know, they think that 2 or 3 guys or 5 guys talk to them. They think they're Laurie in London. Like I said, if it's a black girl, she thinks she's Laurie in London. Trust me. If it's a white girl, she thinks she's Scarlett Johansson or Jennifer Lawrence. If it's a Latina chick, she thinks she's Jennifer Lopez. So that's why the title's going to be called Sex and Dating Self-Improvement. She a 4, but she thinks she a 9. Now there are times where if a girl goes to the gym and does cardio and sprint training and she gets in athletic shape. Let's say you get a girl that's between 190 to 230 pounds overweight. You know, usually she'll think the same thing. You know, she'll get maybe 2 or 3 guys that might take an interest in her, and she actually thinks that's going to go somewhere. Like, she thinks he's going to take her out to lunch and dinner or for a cup of coffee. Like, the guys say, you're nice or you're beautiful, and the girl that's 230 pounds actually think the guy actually likes her. When all he's trying to do is build her confidence and her motivation up. They call it green lighting, gassing her head up. You know, she might get 5 guys or 10 guys that try to, you know, boost her confidence so she don't feel excluded from the club. Because you might go into a gym and see a total of 7 girls, right, in a group. Like, usually if you go to those expensive gyms, I'm not talking about Planet Fitness, I'm talking about those super expensive gyms that you got to have 2 jobs, 3 jobs to get access to. You know, Club Onyx, Club Bay, Gold's Gym, UFC Gym, LA Boxing Gym. You got to go one of those expensive gyms that are so expensive they're hard to get into. And usually you'll get a group of girls, 7 girls that might work in a high-class residential area like the Grove. If it's the Grove, then it's between 24-Hour Fitness, LA Fitness, and Club Onyx if it's the Grove. If it's Santa Monica, it would probably be the same thing. Instead of it'll be a Club Onyx when you get to Santa Monica Boulevard. When you get to the intersection in the city, it'll probably be 24-Hour Fitness, and it'll probably be like another gym you've never heard of. And usually in the Grove, Santa Monica, Beverly Hills, and Hollywood, we always have this situation where you got 3 girls or 6 girls or 7 girls, and maybe 1 or 2 of the girls are fat and obese, and she doesn't get no guys coming up to her, talking to her when she's in the gym. So let's say you get a girl that goes to work, right? Let's say she worked for 5 or 6 hours, and all the girls work at the same time, and they all leave at the same time. And then they just happen to go to the same gym in the same location where they work at. Well, what happens in there, the girls be talking about which men they find physically, sexually attractive at work, which men they want to ask them out to lunch and dinner, and which men are losers, which men ain't got no business trying to spit no game at them. I know you guys have been there. I'm just trying to help you guys out. And you always get this either 1 or 2 fat women that are fat and obese that be trying to be a part of the conversation, and these females will be taking their cell phone out, showing their Facebook, their Twitter, their Instagram, and showing off all the guys that they have a crush on at work. Oh, this guy drives a motorcycle. This guy drives a truck. Okay, this guy's a basketball player or a football player. This guy's a police officer or a firefighter or training to be one. They'll have these types of conversations. And then the female who's overweight, usually there's 2 fat girls in this type of scenario, and they're left out of the conversation. And then when they, get to around and say, what did you do? Who do you speak to at work? And then that's when the fat girl doesn't have no one to talk to. So when they get this one super hot guy that comes to the gym, all eyes is on him. He's the 10. Remember in my video? He's the 10. Kids want to be him. Men either like or hate him, and women want to get with him. He's the 10. And all the women are talking to the 10, and the 10 sees the girl, they ain't got no confidence and no motivation, so he tries to make her feel a part of the conversation. So he'll speak to her for about 15, 20 minutes so she can have some confidence in herself. And she'll accidentally take it the wrong way because she thinks that means he wants to take her out to lunch and dinner or for a cup of coffee. Now, he already found the woman that he's going to take out for lunch and dinner for a cup of coffee, and then ultimately, to the bedroom, trying to keep it as clean and PG as I can in this video. And then she'll accidentally go to the gym when she knows he's working out and say, do you want to hang out? Like, he'll hang out with her at the gym or hang out with her at the park, but he won't take it to the next level. So she might try to push it for 3 weeks to 3 months, thinking, okay, it's got to go somewhere. Okay, it's been 6 months. Somewhere in there, he's got to take me out to lunch and dinner. And then all the girls at work will be like, he just see you as a friend, right? You're just friends to him. I mean, you're 230 pounds, obese, overweight. He don't like big women like that. And then that's when the fights and the arguments start. The girl's a 4, but she thinks she's a 9. And somebody like this that you went to high school and college with. Somebody like this at the gym. And somebody like this at work. And that every single time. And then you get that one friend that has to be the one to break the terrible bad news to the fat girl. Look, he's just your friend. He'll go to the gym and work out with you. He'll go to the park and play basketball with you. He'll go to the movies and the mall with you, but he's not taking you out to lunch and dinner, and he ain't taking you out for a cup of coffee, and he's not letting you ride his motorcycle. And the fat girl will be like, you just don't know. He told me I'm fine. So then she might try to make him jealous, which usually this backfires and blows up in her face, because she thinks if I go get the bodybuilder or the weightlifter to make him jealous, come to find out that's his best friend. And he'll pick on, you have a crush on my best friend that drives the motorcycle. He's dating Kelly at your job. And she'd be like, you mean Kelly, the most popular girl at my job? And the bodybuilder would say, yes. What, you didn't know them two were dating? It's on Instagram. And she'll become jealous and overcome with anger and rage because she can't believe that the guy she has a crush on that was trying to be nice to her to boost her confidence and motivation, all of a sudden, she mad. So she'll confront Kelly, and Kelly would say, yeah, we went out 5 times in 5 months. How come you never found out? How come you never asked them? You know, she'll confront the woman when she's supposed to confront the man. Because she think the woman stole the man away, which if she's the most popular girl, and if she's an 8, a 9, or a 10, especially 9s and 10s, oh yeah, they can do that. 8s usually try to tell, give you the heads up, but when it's women, and remember what Matt Cross said in 33 Secrets, women are cold, they're evil, and they're scandalous to other women. Yeah, they're evil and cold and scandalous to some of us men, but they're more evil, more ruthless, and more cold to other women, especially women that are not physically, sexually attractive. And you get a lot of women that are 4s, that are 5s, and that are 6s that think they're 9s and think they're 10s. And then you got the real 8 that looks at a girl that's a 4 like, I'm an 8 and you're a 4, I can get a man with a motorcycle. Then you get a girl that's a 9 that looks at a girl that's a 5 and go, I'm a 9, I can get the police officer and the firefighter. Then you get the girl that's a 10, and the woman will say, I'm a 10, I can get the basketball player, the football player, and the guy that can run for the city. He could be either a mayor or a governor. Now, the reason why I'm bringing this into the video is because I believe a lot of women don't know how the rules work. And I'm not talking about women that are 8s, 9s, and 10s. A 10 knows they're a 10. Because a woman that's a 10, she gets 99.99% of the attention 7 days a week, 24 hours a day, 365 days a year. It don't matter if she's at work, school, the gym, the mall, the movie theater, the park. If she a 10, every single man is going to talk to her. It don't matter if the man's a police officer, a firefighter. It doesn't matter if he's a film director, an actor. It don't even matter if he's a drug dealer. She a 10, she getting all the men's attention because she a 10. If she's a 9, she can get all the guys that are police officers and firefighters not to give her a ticket. If she's an 8, she pretty much can get a guy with a motorcycle or a truck and never have to pay for gas. I'm just trying to tell you. Now, if she a 7, she sometimes have to pay gas. She sometimes don't pay gas if she a 7. And usually you get women that are 4s, that are 5s, and that are 6s that think they're 9s and 10s. And they don't understand what number you are. Whatever number you are, that's what number you are. Now, is it the end of the world? No, ladies, it's not. You can move up a number. You can actually advance from a 4 to a 5 to a 6. I actually have seen it firsthand in high school and college where there's this one girl that nobody talked to for almost 5 years. And then by the time I got to college, she went from a 4 to a 5 to a 6 to a 7 to an 8. All of a sudden she had breasts. Yeah, she had breasts. All of a sudden, she had a big butt. She had curves. And all of a sudden, all the guys that rejected her in junior high and high school, by the time they saw her in college, they thought she got plastic surgery and was a new, different person. And she had to explain to them she lost 50 pounds of body weight because she was 250 pounds. And she went from 250 pounds to 150 pounds. And she had a nice athletic build, and every man was trying to holler at her. So yes, it's possible that you can go from a 4 to an 8. Now, let me tell you what's not possible, because I know some women are going to get mad in the comment section, might even thumbs down the video. And like I said, I don't take it personal if you agree with the video or if you disagree with the video. Some of y'all are going to say I'm absolutely correct. Some of y'all are going to say I'm an a-hole and I don't know what I'm talking about. I don't know nothing about women. And again, I'm perfectly just fine with that too. Everybody has their own interpretation. This might be a good interpretation. This might be a bad interpretation. But nevertheless, it is interpretation, because when you watch it, don't judge a book by its cover. It's me just trying to explain what goes on in the dating game. What's not possible, you cannot go from a 5 to a 9 to a 10. You can go from a 5 to a 6 to a 7, and the highest you probably can reach is an 8. By the time you get between the ages of 30 to 35 and you hit the wall, it is kind of hard to try to become a 9 or a 10 if you're in your 30s or 40s or 50s. It's very rare to be older and still be a 10 or a 9. It's very hard to do that. Like, there's only a few women that can be in their 30s, their 40s, and their 50s, and their 9s and 10s. And the rule is, the older you get, you drop a number. So let's say you're the most super sexually attractive woman on the planet. All in high school, all of college. And then one day you're 35 or 40. You're going to go from a 10 to an 8. Because it's 10 to 15 years later. If you were a 9 and it's 10 to 15 years later, you're going to drop to a 7. Now, if you were a 8 and it's 10 to 15 years later, you are an 8, you're going to drop down to a 6 automatically. And if you just so happen to be a 7, you, in 10 to 15 years, you're a 7, you're going to drop down to a 5, close to a 4. So the thing is, you can go from a 4 to a 6 to a 7 and to an 8, and that's the highest you can go to. What's not possible is being a 9 or a 10. The only way that happens is if you get some plastic surgery or some drugs and you try to do that. And even with that, that's kind of hard because it don't last. Now, the same archetype that I've used for women, I'm going to turn around and make another completely whole nother video and do the same thing for men. Because I don't want no woman to come in my comment section and say, well, you got on the females, once you get on the men. I'm going to get on the men too. I'm fair and impartial. It's a 2-part video. This is part 1. Part 2, I'm going to be hurting some men's feelings, okay? I'm going to be hurting some men's feelings. Because there be some guys on YouTube that be bragging about, I got 100,000 subscribers. I got 100 million views. But they don't be pulling in strong numbers like Tommy Sotomayor. They don't be killing YouTube like what's that dude's name? Sweetie Pie, or whatever his name is. They don't be killing numbers like that. So I'm gonna be hurting some men's feelings in the next video. So if women get mad at the video, don't be mad, ladies, because y'all getting a pass. This is me just explaining to the men what the problem is that they have with women. The next video is going to be making some men get angry in their feelings. So if you women are mad, don't be mad. Be happy. Because in the next video, the men going to be like, oh man, he taking it way too close to home. Alright?